said you can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song.
Welcome to Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged with your host, Brain Fitzpatrick. Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged is a snapshot of the day-to-day experiences of disabled individuals as they navigate the world around us. We wish to shed light and open your eyes on a new perspective of people with disabilities. And by going unplugged, we can discuss viewpoints we hope will challenge our viewers' points of view. Most of us have disabilities we must live with, but what defines us is the way we deal with them. And now, here's your host, Brain Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick bringing you an episode of Wheeling the Pathway of Life. It's good to be back. I had to take a couple weeks off and do some stuff that we can talk about later. Today I want to talk about as close to Christmas as we are. Because we're so close to Christmas, I want to talk about being thankful to staff and realizing how much work they do and what dedication it takes to do the kind of work they do. And kind of explain to you that over the past couple weeks I've realized that there are people out there that don't just do it for the money, they do it because they want to do it. And I want to explain how that came about and what kind of situation I was in for that to happen. The situation was one that happens every year. My renewal came up for the PCA program, as it does every year. And the paperwork took a little longer to get processed. So there was 2 weeks where the PCAs weren't getting paid for actually working when they should have been. And rather than leaving, they just stuck with me and continued to work. What I'd like to say is, I know people always say that PCAs and caregivers are a pain in the neck, and there are situations where people's lives get in the way of what the clients need, and the client's life gets in the way of what they need. But for the most part, they do a tremendous job in allowing me and others to be as independent as they can. There is no reason for people who do the work they do for as little money as they do right now, to not get paid, but to know there's somebody that's going to be willing to come in no matter what they are faced with day in and day out. It is amazing how much dedication it takes and dedication there is to me as a person and the disabled community as a whole, that somebody would actually come in when you're not getting paid to come in. And I want people to know that not only will there be, not only is there a special place in my heart for those people, there'll be a special place in heaven when you guys get there. Because that dedication is to be commended and not taken for granted. And as far as why it happened, I have some issues with recertifying every year anyway. Meaning, I don't understand why the government is having us recertify every year for something that's not going to change that drastically year after year. Okay? Other than the fact that things are going to be pretty much the same. It should be every 1 to 2, maybe 3 years before we have to recertify for financial, because nothing drastic is going to change, and if it does, then we can notify people of the drastic change. There's no reason why, especially if someone requests for the same amount of hours every year, there's no reason why that we need to show proof that we need the services every year, other than it doesn't make sense unless somebody needs something drastic. It should be changed at least every other year, if not 2 to 3 years, for recertification, especially on critical services, so that people can be as independent as they can be. Because you know, in order for me and others to do the things they need to do, they need other people to help them do it. So, in that regard, I think because I need people, there's people in my life every day that can say, send an email and say, Brian needs services, and here's why. I mean, it shouldn't be free 4 pieces of, up to 15 pieces of paper. Sometimes I'm being over dramatic on this, but you get the point that it should not be that much of a hardship. That the paperwork is so much, and the justification needs are so much that it takes so long for the paperwork to get through that services are dropped because it takes too long to get the paperwork through. So I think in that regard, I think it needs to be said that we need to change that kind of situation. And also, I went to a disability commission meeting last week, and the commission and the mayor have agreed that something I should and will be allowed to do some kind of an awareness. Should and will be allowed to do some awareness campaign. We are trying to figure out what and where that's going to be, and whether that be a walk or a discussion at the library or whatever. That's yet to be determined, but we are in the process of figuring that out. In the same vein of the same subjects of caregivers and how important caregivers are. Again, without the caregivers and without the people doing specialized transportation, and even though I think sometimes that's a pain in the neck too, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without them as well. And even though we all have frustrations, and even though we all have different situations that come up, and we're somewhat demanding, I just want to say we really appreciate every ounce of help we get. And just saying that to your drivers, or saying that to the people that help you as PCAs and stuff, goes a long way. Because believe me, they don't get paid as much as they should. And, they get paid in having the satisfaction of someone that appreciates them, and someone that they're doing a good job for them and doing the Lord's work. And if we can't take the time to appreciate them for what they do, what kind of people are we to say? What kind of people are we to tell them how to act if we can't act the way we should and the way the Lord wants us to act? When there is a concept of we need to be professional and stuff like that, but we also need to have a heart to what other people go through, and staff and clients have their own situations. So if you are in my position, you've got to understand that the compassion and the situations they go through have to be considered just as much as the situations that I go through have to be considered, because without them, I would be nothing. And without the ability to be able to say things that I got to say, I wouldn't have the opportunity I do when I talk to you and bring up situations that come up in my life. It's meant to not only inspire you, but it's meant to say you're not alone. If you're going through similar problems or something totally different, even though you guys may not relate to exactly what I go through, just know you're not alone. And just know there's people out there that actually do care and actually do want what's best for me and you as well. And I'd like to thank the Pittsfield Commission on Disabilities for being willing to help me and being willing to help me gather guests along with Ad-Lib, Center for Independent Living, for offering together consumers and staff to come on the show as often as they can to explain what services are out there, what the commission does, and what the opportunities are out there for other people. I do want to put out there that the commission meets every second Thursday of the month. I will not be going to every one, but when I do go to that, this show will be on rerun that week, and we will have to do a rerun that week, but I will be, the commission is televised over on over on the government channel, at 2 o'clock on every second Thursday of the month. If the commission is doing a meeting then every second Thursday of the month, and as it being an open meeting for the general public, I have been invited, and I will try to attend as many as I can. So as a result of that, the show may have to be taped on those days, but again, I haven't decided if I'm actually gonna go to every one, but I just wanted people to know that's one time where I may have to throw on extra shows. I may have to throw on pre-taped shows on that week. But again, you can watch the actual commission meeting on our CityLink channel 1303. I'm on 1301 now, but the commission is on 1303 on our CityLink channel. And I encourage you to watch and to hear what the commission is working on and what you can do as general public to help the commission and give your own ideas as to what you think needs to be done. Because there's city officials that are very much involved with the commission, and they are there as bystanders and participants to listen to our concerns and listen to what we need and what they can do to help us achieve what we want to achieve and get the resources we need to do. And one of the things they suggested that I'm going to try at the beginning of the year is I'm going to try this, but I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it anyway, is at beginning of the first week in January that I do my show, we're going to try closed captioning as a test to see if closed captioning is possible on the show. As you guys see me speaking to you right now, I am going to have to try and slow it down a little bit, because AI is computer-based, of course, but AI means there's not a person in the room typing everything I'm saying. So it is by voice recognition that the words will come out at the bottom of the screen. So, because of that, that's why we're trying it instead of doing it right off the bat. We're gonna do one show with it at the beginning of the year and see how it goes, and then decide if we're gonna use it. But that's an idea that the commission suggested, and I'm willing to try to see if it works. When we come back, I'm gonna talk to you about some of the other things that are pertaining to disabilities and some of the other things that we will be doing in the near future, and a couple other bits of information. We will be right back, folks.
One star burns in the darkness, shines with a promise, Emmanuel. One child born in the stillness, living within us, Emmanuel. We're singing glory, glory, let there be peace, let there be peace. We're singing glory, glory, let there be peace, let it start in me. One voice speaks for the voiceless, hope for the hopeless, Emmanuel. And one love brings us together, now and forever, Emmanuel. We're singing glory, glory, let there be peace, let there be peace. We're singing glory, glory, let there be peace, let it start in me, let there be peace, let it start in me. So do not be afraid, His love is strong enough to save us. Nothing stands in the way, His love is strong enough to lead us. So do not be afraid, His love is strong enough to save us. Nothing stands in the way, His love is strong enough to lead us. Glory, glory, let there be peace, let there be peace. We're singing glory, glory, let there be
afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick bringing you another episode of Wheeling the Pathway to Life. Thank you, Nick, for providing that wonderful song, and I appreciate everything your wife has been doing and going to be doing in the future, and I'm glad to be partnered up with you for another year, next year, and for many years to come. God willing, and the creek don't rise. But yeah, I wanted to expand on what I was saying before about the communication and the dedication and the importance it is to, especially in the community of disabled, to borrow a phrase from something that's happened recently. If you see something, say something. But if you need something, say something as well. Because if people don't know what you need, you can't receive what you need if you don't ask for help to get what you need. There's two forms of that. On the religious side, on the spiritual side, you gotta ask the Lord for help. But on the more practical, on the more everyday side, if you need something, say something. There's somebody out there that can help you receive what you need and what you... It may not be what you want, but it may be what you need as far as the spiritual side, but as far as the other people getting involved, just tell them what you need. You'd be surprised at how many people come together in a time of need, in a time of struggle to provide what people need and what people request for. And it brings me back to two stories. It brings me back to I don't remember the Bible verses, but I will tell you this. If Jesus did a miracle, I mean, he caused a miracle that a lot of people take for granted. He only had 2 loaves he started out with 2 loaves of bread, and there was multiple people and stuff in the people, and he made enough, he was able to get enough food to feed everybody in the place that he everybody there got enough food to eat because he knew what they needed, he was able to provide what they needed. In that case, it was Jesus. But if everybody, basically, we are Jesus' assistants. And what what we need to do is consider what Jesus would do and be willing to help people in their time of need and be willing to reach in our pockets and do more to help other people than just help ourselves. Yes, prime example. I have to spend money to make this show as a membership for this show, but as a person providing the information that I'm providing to you week after week, that membership is well worth the money that it is, because that money goes further than just providing the equipment to do the show. It provides me an opportunity and a way to communicate with the public. And it's a minor drop in the bucket to be able to communicate with you and be able to have the opportunity to be able to communicate with you, and that's a great thing. And we are so lucky to have Pittsburgh Community Television and the volunteers that put their own show on and their own ideas, and I'm glad to be a part of the team. And if I have to provide do a membership to provide that, to receive that service and be able to communicate with you what I need to communicate with you and what you need to communicate with the public through me, then that's well worth it. And for the expertise that is shown here at the Community Television and the dedication that they provide and they show every week and every way possible, they can help provide the stuff they provide. I am more than grateful for what they do, and I am so proud to be in relationship with these guys and in partnership with these guys to provide not only a show, but a quality show, and give you guys the tools you need to be able to advocate for yourself and to come on my show, Wheeling the Pathways of Life, and just have a general conversation about your challenges and what you like to see happen. In that sense, since I'm going down that road, you can get a hold of me at Wheeling the Pathways of Life. Wheeling the Pathways of Life at gmail.com, and get a hold of me and tell me your ideas and tell me situations that you'd like to talk about, and tell me situations that I can help you and actually go out in the community and take a camera out and have the activity videotaped, or have a general public get together and join in assisting with a fundraiser or public event that you have coming up. Let me know so we can talk about it and support it in a way that provides a way so people know what's going on in the disabled community. Because remember, folks, just because we're disabled doesn't mean we're not capable. It just means we may be challenged on how long it takes us and the way we have to do things, but we can get things done. It may just not be pretty when we get it done, but we can still get it done and be effective at what we do. And for those people that say, and I'm going to get on my soapbox for just a couple minutes, for those people that say, because there still are people out there that say this, well, you don't work, so all you do is sit home and do nothing. Oh, we're paying for you to get services that you don't need, and we're paying for hours of PCA services you don't need, and they're not actually doing PCA work. Well, let me tell you something. Work does not always mean going out making money. Work to me means assisting other people and doing what you can do to help. It may not be financial, it may not be going out physically and going to work and earning a paycheck, but it's making a difference in people's lives. And let me tell you something, putting on a show like this is definitely, and I've been told this several times, even from the commission off camera, that it is making a difference, and to keep doing it because it does make a difference. And my goal in life is not to make a difference for everybody. My goal in life is to make a difference for one person. Okay, if I make a difference for one person, then I've done what I need to do. If there's more than one person that I'm making a difference in life, that's a bonus. But as long as I make one person a difference in one person's life, then that's what I'm going to do. And what will make a difference in people's lives to me is being honest with people. Being honest with people and telling them not what they want to hear, what they need to hear. And with that, that involves, if they don't want to hear something because they want to believe what they want to believe and say that people aren't doing what they need to do, well, if you don't think the government is doing what they need to do, and the people in the city government and the people on the commission are not hearing you and participating in the concerns you wanted them to be involved in, then you need to do something about that. You need to make it known. Because if people don't know, they can't do anything about it. I mean, that's the bottom line. We are too ashamed to open our mouth and say what we need, and say what we need, and say we need help. I hate to tell you, but that's our fault. It's nobody else's fault but us. We're too ashamed, we're too scared about what people are gonna say. If you don't say something and you don't tell people what you need, then they're not gonna say anything. And you're not gonna get what you need to get done in life. So we all need to work together to make sure we're doing what we need. And we also gotta remember, when we open our mouths to get what we need done, that also opens the door for other people to get the same thing that we need. Because there's 9 times out of 10, if one person is too afraid to say something, there's more than one person too afraid to say the same thing. And when we come together as one, work for the same goals, it gets done a lot quicker. It gets done a heck of a lot more efficient if we got multiple people working in different directions and working on different angles to get the same thing done. It takes more than one person to create a village. And one person, one shovelful of dirt, many shovelfuls of dirt, one shovelful at a time, will create a garden. But it takes one shovel to start it. And we're given the tools. We're given the tools to start things, and some things have already been started by Jesus Christ. It's up to us to do what we need to do to to preserve what God gives us and to be good stewards of what God gives us and what we can. What I'm saying is, if we don't do what we can, we can't get what we need out of what God has given us. If we can't put the effort in to be good stewards of the stuff we're given, then there may be a time when there's nothing that we can do because we're not being good stewards of what has been given to us. I just think that people take people for granted and take people for granted for what they are supposedly not able to do. I'm telling you, just because I'm in a wheelchair, I can do more than just because I can't physically walk doesn't mean I don't have value. Okay? It doesn't mean that, I can just be forgotten. It doesn't mean that I don't have something valuable to put out there and something valuable that other people can use. It bothers me when people say things like, he's in wheelchair. Shit, what can he do? You don't know me and I don't know you, but at least think about my perspective. Think about let me show you what I can do. Let me come and see me, come and understand. Walk a mile in my shoes. So you can understand what I'm going through, what I go through day in and day out, and what half this city goes through on a day in and day out. Because every one of us has a disability at some point. I'd like to say to everybody out there, just be thankful that you have your family together and you have situations with your family that you can be grateful that you have family that you can see every day, multiple times a day, and be around. Don't worry about everything else. I have to make one thing clear to everybody. I recently had a friend of mine pass away, and her name was Sierra, and she was a 20-year-old person who was a BCA that she died in a major car accident and was ejected from the car, and I think that it is very fitting that we're talking about this, because she was the most dedicated person to me and to helping other people. In 20 years, she changed my life. So, Sierra, always 20. We will meet again. We will meet again someday. Folks, I will be back next week. Have a Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year if you don't watch the show next week. But know that there's some big things coming next year in January, and know that I'm looking for you. So if you have anything you need to discuss, get a hold of me at wheelingthepathwaysoflife@gmail.com. And this one's for you. This one's for you, Sierra.
You can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song. 'Cause